So I've got a new job. It's getting closer to the start of the Oz athletics season in October. And my coach has set me some new milestones for me to start working towards and to achieve over the coming months towards that athletic season and during that athletic season, which will get me closer to achieving my running quest, which is the reason why I moved from small town in Albury to the big city of Melbourne. And if you're unfamiliar with what I'm referring to when I'm talking about running quests that I've embarked on, then I encourage you to check out my short origin story video that I created in the past. So link will be provided right there. So check it out. So since my last training update, part 2 video that I made previously a month ago, a few things have changed in my life on my journey towards achieving my running quest. So one of those big factors that has changed my situation towards it is I've acquired a new job, which this job is as a cargo unloader, which, as you can tell by the name, it's very physically demanding, which has created some new challenges for me to go through and solve so it doesn't affect my running quest too much, but still get all the benefits of that type of job. So the benefits of me acquiring this new job is it serves as a good financial base to fund my quest. Because as you know, or you might not know, the aim of the game for me to get to my running quest is I need to be training full time all week. So the aim of the game to achieve my running quest is I need to be training full time as much as I can. Like, that's mandatory. That is top priority. But with that being said, I can't work as much and can't earn as much and can't take up a full-time job, because that will contradict with my training most of the time, because I need to be putting most of my energy towards my training, not starting a plan B. So at first it was pretty tricky trying to navigate, what type of job I need, because as you know, going on a running quest such as mine, well, one, you can't earn as much, and then two, there's all these expenses that you have to cover, such as going on altitude training camps, which, as far as I know, can be spent anywhere from 2 weeks to a month, and that's not working. And then also all the running shoes and equipment, and then traveling to races and meets. And in the future, a lot of people, when they reach a higher level, such as closer to my running quest, they actually spend some of the winter going to races in Europe, which that's just a whole new chapter, which brings a whole new lot of cost as well. So what made me decide to take on this job is the benefits that it brings to me is, one, the pay is pretty good for what it is since I'm casual, and then two, the biggest thing about it that it provides to me on my running quest is the hours. So the hours that you work, because it's warehouse work, you're working from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., which is perfect for me, absolutely perfect, because that allows me because most of my training is actually in the afternoon at 5 p.m. So it gives me a 3-hour buffer to get ready and cook my meal beforehand. So then as soon as I finish training, I just come back, eat, and sleep. And also, if I do have to do some training sessions in the morning, well, I'm a morning person, so I'm okay with waking up a bit earlier just to get it in, which to most people, that sounds crazy, but that's how dedicated I am. As you know, with this new job being cargo unloading, that brings on a whole new set of challenges, such as protecting my back at work, because I've been talking to a lot of employees there, and they are telling me, like, some of them make jokes. Like this 18-year-old that I work with, he says he has a 40-year-old back, and they all talk to me about, they have back issues and everything. And one person had to take off 2 weeks off work because he injured his back. So to me, I definitely don't want this new job to start compromising with my training and draining me all of my energy at work. And then when it comes to me actually doing the workout, the reason why I'm doing this type of job and even being in Melbourne in the first place, I don't want to have no energy to actually get the stimuli that I need to become better. So that's the challenge. But the fortunate part of this cargo unloading job is the maximum weight of boxes is 15 kilos. So it's not the most heavy physical job, but it can still take a toll. But so far, my body has been proven to be very resilient because of all the strength and conditioning my body has already undergo because of and the fitness that I've built up on my running quest. It's been able to perform quite well at work. And I've also been very mindful to when I pick up any low boxes on the ground, I squat and then I lift it up, which I'm also learning there's actually another form of lifting that you have to do, which no one talks about, but it's pretty important, is when you pick up a box too, you don't want to be twisting your spine because that's also putting unnecessary load on your spine as well, which that's the type of back pain I have been getting, but I've been working to correct it. So that's the development on my new job. But my plans are, for the short term, this will be perfectly fine because it's building up that experience that I need for the meantime. But I have plans to level up so I can start moving away from the physically demanding side of the job and start moving towards less fatiguing ones, such as operating a forklift or an order picker job role instead. So that's pretty all right. So in my last training update, I talked about the milestones I set for myself and achieved over the few months back, such as getting a new 5K PB, which I made a video on how I got that 5K PB, which you can check out right here, and also started running consistently 50K weekly mileage. So I've now achieved the last one, which at the time of making that previous video I hadn't yet achieved, but was going for a testing, was to improve all my biomarkers at O-Health for my strength and conditioning program. And O-Health is the place where I do my strength and conditioning programs. So when I'm talking about improving all my O-Health biomarkers, I'm referring to the tests that my strength and conditioning coach, Matt Dorr, uses to track the improvements being made from my strength and conditioning coach on various factors such as my overall strength, my power output, my reaction time, balance, adductor and abductor strength, and also hamstring strength as well, which they use technology such as a force deck, force frame, and NordBoard, which are all created by Volt Performance to conduct these tests. So I'm happy to announce that for this retesting, I scored improvements of 10% on average on all the measurements and tests that I previously listed from my previous self 3 months ago, which is a great improvement and great sign that I'm getting closer towards achieving my quest, and also telling me that what I'm doing is working in the gym. Which in the future, I plan on creating a video on strength and conditioning and its relevance towards running, because what I've noticed is a lot of people who start getting into running have misconceptions on, the importance of running, thinking, oh, I'm going to build a lot of muscle. You won't. Trust me, you won't. You only build muscle that you can use. And also, getting started, the only gym that they're aware of is gym being used to get really buff. So when their goal isn't to get buff, but to become a more efficient runner, they don't really know where to start. So that's something I plan on making in the future. Now, like I said, now that I've achieved all my previous milestones that I set for myself, in my last video, I also mentioned about, I needed to set new ones. So I've been speaking to my coach, Mark Hipworth, and after speaking to him about the upcoming athletic season, he set the following milestones for me. So 1, to run a 50-second 400. So my current PB is 51 seconds, which I did in April this year, 1 hour after a 1500 meter race, which I done in Aubrey. So it's doable. And then 2, to run a 1:26 minute 600 meter twice with 5 minutes rest between. So in the past, I've run 1:25 minutes for a 600 before at the 2024 800 meter Victorian Championships, which happened this year as well. And the last one he set for me was to run a 40 meters in under 2 seconds, which my current best at the moment is I've run 2.38 seconds during a test that we done at training on speed day. So the last thing I wanted to update you guys on is last Sunday I ran a 600 meter time trial in what type of shape I'm in for an 800 meters right now. So I was a bit nervous beforehand because I wasn't sure where I was at the moment. Like, I knew aerobically I was much fitter because I recently got an improvement on my 5K PB by 39 seconds. So I knew aerobically I was better than I was last year. But I haven't been running as much at that top 800 meter speed that I was previously doing a couple months ago. But I knew I still had some of that speed that I built up during the athletic season. So I was curious on how well I could go. So I ran it and I got 1:30 minutes for the 600 meters, which that is on 2-minute pace for an 800. It was tough, but I was happy to see it. And this to me shows a sign of I'm in a better place than I was this time last year, because I was only running that time for a 600 last year in October, November. So I'm ahead of my previous self by 2 months in fitness level. So all I've got to do is just keep going the distance. So to finish off this video, if you got something out of it and you'd like to support me on my quest, which I'm going to need all the help I can get, I'll appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button and leave a thumbs up and drop a comment down below on what you got out of this video, and also some suggestions for the future on what you would like to see me cover as of content as well. And also you can follow me on my Instagram and my Strava to follow my progress towards this quest that I've embarked on. Now, as always, it's never too late to start your dreams.